like it's unfair.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, I remember my view of D&D changed a little bit when I realized I made the realization that the job of the DM, a large part of it, not the job, but like one of the big jobs of it is to create obstacles for us to overcome. So I was like, oh yeah, like I just there's no point in being frustrated about any of these. Like that's like the thing. It's like what we're
Yeah,
doing here.
right, right. Like, my objective is to make sure you guys have fun, but like it's not fun to just steamroll everything,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Um and I mean to a certain extent like the power fantasy can be fun for a while, but you got to like temper that. Like, it's why sometimes I'll I mean, I don't know, like this might be too much inside baseball, but like, I'll sometimes like set up stuff so that it's like you guys have an easy one. Um, that makes you like realize how like powerful you are.
Yeah.
That gives you sort of some um although sometimes that can lead to you guys getting pretty cocky and then I'm like, okay, I need to bring some humility in here. Be like, here's an encounter that's actually tuned to how strong you guys actually are and um that it's a little bit harder, but um yeah, I mean the goal is to have fun though and to tell a story together, you
Yeah.
know. So, um that was like what I struggled with in our Greek myth campaign. Um and that got like a whole revamp for like 5.5.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, like they've like their Kickstarter, like I've just been seeing stuff from their Kickstarter, but like basically like they've like rewritten like the whole campaign.
Interesting.
Um and like fleshed out like because like the campaign is like pretty fleshed out through like level 11, like through that the fight at Mitros. You like defeat Kentamane and like save Mitros.
Yeah.
Um and you've defeated like Sidon and Lutheria and like you saved the day. And like that was basically like their goal was to write that campaign. That was like the majority of it. It was like a stretch goal, like everything after that. And it's not as fleshed out. It was a lot harder like to do prep for because like there weren't as many resources to go on like each like section, was like so each of the isles in the sea when you guys were sailing around, like had like detailed like descriptions and maps and like scenarios and like all sorts of shit. Like afterwards, like all of the scenarios like with those vampires and with that other city that was kind of like Sparta, um and with like the new gods and all that shit, like that was like really skeletal in structure. And apparently they've like fleshed all that out and I haven't reviewed it, but it seems like they've fleshed out more of the beginning of the game too, so it's just like a much more epic
Fuller. Yeah.
thing.
Do you
But
think do you think that you're like having to prep more of that stuff and like get used to working with less helps you finally pull the trigger on doing your own campaign?
yeah, I mean I definitely think like that helped, because it was like I was having to kind of improv a lot,
Yeah.
and you guys were so powerful that like you could just derail something easily, and I wasn't trying to keep you guys on rails anyways, but it was like
Yeah.
there was like shit that had to happen, but it was like, I need to be able to like adapt to like what I know your guys' abilities are, like you could just teleport through trees, as a druid, like,
Yep.
um, so yeah, I mean, I had to just kind of like, um, do that, but like, I can't remember what, um, it's like there were a few moments in that campaign in particular that I remember like setting up scenarios, like encounters, scenarios, and stuff that were all entirely me. Like, I just had an idea for you guys, like one of your characters that would work. And I was like, I want to do this. I want to use this monster, whatever. And there were a few times where that happened that it wasn't something that the book had set out. Like, I had created it. And like, it went better than stuff that I was running like from pre-written.
Yeah.
Um, and that was where I was kind of like, you know what? Like I can probably do this. Like
That's good.
um, so yeah, there's a few moments like that here and there, but yeah, that definitely. Although I hated playing like when you guys got to like level 15, it was not fun for me.
Yeah. It was
Like
just
from level
hard.
15 to level 20 was just I didn't know like it felt like just a big combat slog from that point on.
Yeah, there was a lot of combat. We didn't use a lot of our overpowered abilities to like change the world around us, and I think we could have done more of that. It was
Yeah,
just that we were
yeah.
kind of on a timer, so like we
There was a bit of a ticking time bomb there to like, force action cuz yeah, you're at that point. It's like, I think that they do a poor job at transitioning from like, okay, you save the day, like you have very clear motives to like prevent the Titans from like destroying all of humanity, you know. But um you don't like from there it's sort of like the motives aren't great, like it feels less personal. Um the stakes and it gets yeah, so I think they need to really flesh that out if they're like, they've revived it or done a revision of it. So, um,
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like we all had ties to every single one of the big baddies
mhm.
in the game. Basically, I mean, there were a few that were like like the initial boar or whatever, but like
Yeah.
aside from that, like all of us had parts of our backstory that were directly tied to them, and then once we dealt with all of that, the only one left really was Lutheria, and you brought her back in the end, and
Yeah.
that was a good call because she's the the goddess of death, and so she can just come back.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and that's part of the story. That's what they wrote. Like
yeah,
she doesn't truly die when you defeat her cuz yeah, but like yeah, I mean, it's tricky like that is sort of the thing that's like, oh, this whole thing was like her plot, you know. I just think that they needed to plant the seeds of all that stuff. Um, because I it felt like an asshole. I felt like I was doing it, and I had read ahead and thought about how I could do that, and it just was kind of I couldn't really figure it out. Um, and by that point, it was like we were well on our way in the campaign, and
yeah.
so I couldn't like it felt like I would have needed to like retcon some things or um, but yeah, I mean the latter part of that campaign was a little tougher and um for me it's like it it wasn't just that it was like I was it was fun like for example to like run a Tarask,
Oh yeah,
but like it's also really stressful because it's like I want it to be like difficult and to have like the weight that this thing has, it needs to be a good experience fighting a Tarask. But like also like there are so many moving parts to like running an NPC stat block that's that and that wasn't even like one of the more complex ones, but like some of the gods that were like, CR30 or whatever, like they had so many abilities, they had so many legendary actions and lair actions, and like, um, it's just like a whole lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
But, um, it's cool to be able to play at that level. Um, I don't know that I have figured out a way to like make it feel fun for me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm, I don't know, like,
Because everything's just so complicated.
right.
Did you ever see the Matthew Colville like creature um like his version of the monster manual for 5e?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I haven't read it, if that makes
So
sense.
I
Like,
haven't read it.
I know what you're talking about.
But there's like a preview of it and stuff, and it has like all of these. There's like, 4 different types of goblins or whatever, and it's not done like the standard dungeon or the standard monster manual. It's like each of the creatures has a few specific things that you're supposed to do. It kind of has like an outline on the side of how that creature plays and what you're supposed to be doing, and it naturally plays out like that. And I feel like that would be great for higher level combat if he was able to do that. I don't know that he built encounters like that for higher level combat, but that does sound
Yeah,
like something that would be nice, because I just look at the stat block of a fucking CR30 and I'm like, okay, well, good fucking luck with that. Like,
yeah, yeah. It's just so much shit, and then on top of that is like all the spells, and that's sort of the thing that like as a DM, like really if you want to tune like an encounter, it's like okay, you have a lich, right? Like the normal lich stat block has a number of spells prepared, right? Like
yeah,
on the stat block. Some of them are great and make sense and are flavorful. Some of them aren't and just don't really make a whole lot of sense. And, you know, like you could justify swapping them out. Um, and, I think you kind of do need to do that. So, but that adds to the complexity too, is sort of knowing all the spells and knowing which ones are good. And there are a lot of spells that are like considered kind of trash for like players to use, but for like a DM are actually pretty good.
yeah.
Um,
Winter deer.
so hey,
Yeah,
Gwen.
sorry about that. I've had a long day. Kids are had to go to the doctors for two times a day for two separate kids. So
Damn,
long day. Yeah, my
that's tough.
daughter had to do eye test because they thought she had a lazy eye and to dilate her eyes. It's been a whole thing all day. And then my son has to do allergy testing, and they poked his back a bunch. Only to find out that he's allergic to basically everything.
Oof.
Really?
He's allergic to milk, soy, eggs, and corn.
Wow. That sounds like my sister's thing. So what I'll say about the allergy thing is I used to be allergic to milk, and like gluten used to give me bad problem. Over time, the milk thing has gotten a lot better, and there are like cheeses that are produced without like lactose in them that I can eat, and certain dairy products I can eat. So that got a lot better. Also, I when I did the allergy test, I got all the pricks and stuff, and one of the big things was dust mites, and I've kind of grown out of that too. So because your body like replaces itself within every 7 years, so there's a good chance I'll grow out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. It just sucks right now because he's nursing,
Yeah.
and like literally, that's like the triple threat because if you're allergic to milk and eggs, they usually make a soy based alternative formula. But if you're allergic to soy too, there's no alternative.
Yeah,
So
Oh.
that's tough,
we're
dude.
like, what does my wife eat? Like boiled chicken?
But he's
Like,
not allergic to like her milk, right? Like it's not. That's not a thing.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
Well, no,
Okay, good.
it is.
Oh.
unless she eats stuff that could.
If she eats stuff that he's
Yeah.
allergic to, so if she has dairy, it gets into her milk, and then
Huh.
he reacts to it.
Huh.
So like it basically is like my wife can't eat now dairy, eggs, or soy, and we've already cut out soy. Oh, my game just crashed. The heck?
I see that you disconnected. Yeah.
Can you send me
That's
a?
tough.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Can you send me a list of those? Because my sister has a ton of allergies, and she has done an insane amount of research and like even worked for companies and repping them and shit for figuring out products like that. So she might have some suggestions.
When you need to update.
Yeah. Oh, is that why it crashed?
Yeah.
Oh, I just logged in again.
It might crash you again. I saw a video of this girl that was like, I've been allergic to milk my whole life. And then I found out that like part of it is like a skill issue where it's like I just need to like milk max. And so then she started like consuming like a ton of extra dairy and like just pushing through the pain, and her milk allergy went away.
Yeah, that can happen. I tried doing that for a
Um,
period during college. Did not work.
yeah, but
Well, Weston's daughter, Adeline,
mhm,
she had all the same allergies, and she even had peanuts, which my son does not have. And she's grown out of all of them but peanuts. So I
mm,
think he will, but like when he's a tiny baby, like it's just hard because like if he has anything that he's allergic to, it makes his skin become like super scaly, and then he has
Oh,
rashes, and then he's like itching himself everywhere. He's like itched himself so much that he starts bleeding.
oh,
ugh.
So we have to
poor
like
kid.
mitt his
Did
hands,
did
but then he
Mandy
can't
eat a
grab
lot of those
anything.
foods when she was pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like,
Yep.
Not a lack of exposure.
yeah, huh? Well, that's tough, dude. Um, that's really rough. So, you ready to play D&D?
Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry, but that's like what we've been dealing with, so that's why I was a little late. So
No, you're okay. Um, okay, so it's been a while. Where we left off, you guys were with um, Johnny Quickhands. Uh, you had defeated the Regisaur. Um, you took a trophy. He cut out its heart, um, and you guys started running off the volcano um, as it was preparing to erupt. Uh, you guys run down the side of the mountain. Um, I think Buttersworth, I think maybe you were carrying the head.
Yeah, I was.
Um, Johnny Quickhands is carrying the heart. The heart is, probably like the size of a watermelon. He's got he's got it like under his arm, you know. Um, and you guys sort of crash down the mountain. Um, and when you get to the bottom of the mountain, he like stops you guys, and he's like, "Hey, got to do this. This is the most important part." And uh, he scoops up uh, some clay that is at the base of the mountain. Um, and he takes like his water skin, um, and he takes a little bit of that clay and dissolves it in the water skin, and then he cuts the heart, and like a little bit of the blood goes in there. Um, and he's like, uh, um, kind of shakes it around, and then he takes a swig of it, and you see him like start to double over in pain.
Uh,
Um, And Fjark, you would recognize on some level something happening to him as you see like his body begin to shift and um, from where his legs were, like his legs begin to get big.
He's transforming
His
into a
head gets
hobgoblin?
big. You see a large tail begin to protrude uh, from his backside.
Is he turning into the Regisaur? I don't want to kill him.
And that's exactly what happens. Is he turns into the Regisaur.
Oh.
And all the rumbling that's going on underneath the volcano begins to abate. And he's not quite as big as the one you slayed. And you hear his voice in your heads. And he's like, hey, sorry to drop that on you, but this is what every hunter that aspires to this is instructed to do. If you defeat one of the three, they keep our world in balance and they can't be dead. So, I carry its spirit with me now.
Can you
And
go back to your normal shape, or is this just it for you now?
yeah, he takes like a couple steps. He's like, and he's like, oh, I hold on, let me think goblin thoughts, think goblin thoughts, think goblin thoughts. And as like he's saying that, like you see him just sort of like de-transform, and he's like back in front of you guys. And he's like, all right.
I'm furiously scribbling notes about this process while this is happening. I'm like, that's so cool.
I didn't realize
like,
the heart had that much strength in it. Maybe I should have a bite.
He's like, I mean, it's bonded to me now. This is my form. But yeah, I mean, if the heart looks tasty to you, I don't know what your people
Maybe just
eat.
a little nibble, and I'll take a little bite.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it tastes like organ meat. It's tough and not and bloody.
A lot of iron in this.
He's like, so now I am a spirit taken. I'm spirit bonded with the Regisaur, and that's the proof. I mean, you can also carry the head. That's cool, and we can use the teeth, and the scales and the skull for all kinds of shit. But this is proof that we did it.
All right.
So, do you have to have Regisaur like babies for the next one, or are they gonna hunt you and eat your heart? Like, how does that work?
He says, I'm not.
Question.
He's like, yep, okay.
Was that a person we just
this
killed?
This is crazy.
Did we just kill a person?
Well, he had ascended. His mind was gone, and if I maintain the form for too long, it will, you hold a shape for long enough, you can sort of lose, you begin to act like that shape.
Interesting.
Jarek probably knows what I'm talking about. No? Maybe you don't stay transformed for very long, but if you do and you do for too long, it can kind of stick with you. But
my master has too much control to lose control.
I mean, that he does seem like a skilled shapeshifter, and as I'm coming into these powers, I didn't know that it came with extra knowledge. The knowledge of all those who held this position before me.
We totally just killed a dude.
Yes, Buttershort. We'll kill many
mean-
dudes before our journey is over.
I mean, and we have already. I'm just saying. I thought it was a dinosaur. I didn't realize it was a dude.
Is he dead if all of his knowledge lives on with me?
You know, I hear
That's the
people
question.
say like, "Oh, as long as people remember you, you're alive," but that's not true. Once you die, you die. Sorry, that was probably a little dark. Never mind. Please ignore me.
No, that sounds right. But also, what kind of personality did the previous Regisaur have?
We're asking way too many.
Come on, Nate. Come up with a personality for this dinosaur we just killed.
What
Yeah,
was his
no,
name?
I mean, he
Where
was-
was he
he-
from?
So,
His name was Jeff.
Jeff.
no, his Jeff. What? His name was Flint, and he lived about 10,000 years ago. Before we had, our people carried on traditions that I think were based in this hunting these creatures as they grew mad, and if they sent the world out of balance. We've for some reason forgotten why we did it, but now I have that information, and I hope that the other crews that went out actually are successful, because we need all the power. And
multiple
I
crews
know
are
what needs to be
successful.
done now to stop
Who
these
becomes chief?
invaders. It's not about being chief anymore.
What do you mean? That's the reason we did this whole thing. Now you're
I
a
understand.
dinosaur and you suddenly know better? Alright, go on then.
Fine,
What are we
guys.
saying that,
I don't know why I got so angry all of a sudden.
this is our people's thing, and I do appreciate your help with it, because you've helped us get back the memory of our ancestors. You have given us back our birthright, and our people will be forever grateful to yours for doing that for us.
You know, I have one last question. I know that someday I'm going to die. Perhaps in a glorious battle, perhaps old with small ones of my own. But you just mentioned that previous one lived for 10,000 years. How does it feel that you're going to be alive for millennia?
Huh. I didn't really give that much thought.
Well, just a
I don't
little
know, I guess we'll
existential
see.
crisis for you while we walk back.
Well, there is much to do right now. We definitely need to stop these flat tooth Gith people from continuing to extract the things from the land that they're extracting, and that's our priority number one. But it doesn't have to be yours. I'm pretty sure with the power of the Regisaur, we can take it from here. But let's go back to the tribe, and I mean, if I can be the leader of my people, then that would be fine. If one of the other hunters was successful, then we will confer and probably share equal leadership.
I can almost guarantee that the high rollers, I bet they killed their monster too. I don't know them very well, but they seem really cool, and
They're not.
yeah.
Wait, I don't know them. Maybe they are. I forgot I'm a different character.
Who has a grudge with them?
I mean, Oscar, I actually thought they seemed pretty cool too, and they were actually so nice to Fjark. Like, I don't I don't know what
They
his
also
skill
just
is yet
seemed
this
really
year.
capable and intelligent. I'm not comparing them to anyone in particular, but yeah,
Yeah, they did have an air of competence that I think I mean, you guys, don't get me wrong, like you guys are all certainly quite skilled and powerful, but um, they felt like a honed edge, if you will. Um, anyways,
Yeah.
let's make our way back.
Yeah, we
And
more
he goes to
swagger.
walk
Sorry.
towards the ship. No, go ahead.
Yes, we more swagger with big dick energy. We're not that honed edge you're talking about.
We're more of a blunt instrument.
That's right.
Yeah, and he's like, as he's like walking back, he like, you know, transforms back into the Regissar for a second. He's like, um, he's like, oh, trust me, I understand big dick energy.
Oh. What's his name again? I totally forgot his name.
Johnny Quick Hands.
Well, Johnny, the ladies will be lining up, I suppose. Onwards!
You know a lot of
And
ladies who want to bang a dinosaur.
no, you get.
Hey,
He gets back
you,
to the
you
ship.
never know.
maybe he can shift only one
Oh,
part of
oh
his
God!
body.
All right. All right.
Enough. All
How
right,
much
that's
control
some
do you
degeneracy.
have?
So yeah, as he gets close, he, um, you know, transforms back into his goblin self, and he hops onto the ship. Um, and you guys climb up in to the ship and begin to make your way back um, to the village. I think it took a day before, so it's going to take another day to get back. Um, and um, so there, uh, you get back to the village, and there are other uh,
Did we take a long rest during that time?
yeah, you can take a look, rest. Yeah, that makes
Okay, cool.
sense.
Because I'm a little bit fucked up.
Yeah, me too.
Like, dude, I have like no health left.
Yeah, I have like 19 health.
Do did Oscar? You didn't take any damage.
I did not. I sat in the back that whole time.
That was why I made those methods so that they would mess with you on the back line, and they just got wrecked too fast. Okay, so uh, takes a day. um, and you get back to the village, and the village is kind of rightfully in um, like ecstatic to see that somebody has returned, seemingly triumphant. As they can see out on the deck of the ship, like as you guys enter the city, like the head of the Regisar. And you guys get to like the main central. It's kind of like an arena, um, but like a stage. It's a place where when all the tribes get together, when they hold what they call the tribes moot. All the like tribes and chiefs of the tribes like can sort of talk and debate, and so it's sort of like their parliament chambers, but it's open air, and um, you know, uh, a lot of like big log benches up, you know, kind of like stadium seats, but made of wood, and like rope and bone adorning, like carved bone, um, adorning the chambers. It's got like a, you know, sort of like, if you look at the materials, you think, oh, this seems kind of primitive. But then when you look at like the skill behind, like, you know, the artistry of like the way that the wood is carved and the bone is carved and the way it's joined together, certain parts of the structure, you know, um, there is, you know, um, you know, something admirable about the way that they uh, have built their society. Um, and you guys are the first ones back. So um, one of the chiefs of a tribe, um, the um, Sailfin tribe, and they've got like a flag of, you know, like a dinosaur that has, you know, like a big sailfin on it. And he says, um, well, I would have thought that you were cowards and ran away, but it's, I mean, the proof is here. Um, the head is in the center of this. Have you brought the head in?
Oh, yeah.
Assume so.
Yeah. I mean, my thought was also we mount it on the front of our ship because that would be a sick fucking
Oh
piece, but it
yeah,
would
yeah,
just
yeah.
rot
So
over
they see
time.
it coming in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably magically preserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some epoxy magic.
Yeah. And I have this this fire sack gland. Perhaps we could make it into a fire weapon for our ship, but that's another thought for another time.
Johnny's like, you could definitely do that, and we'll see if our shamans can figure something out for that.
Hey, Johnny, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you control other dinos now?
I don't think I can control them, but well, um, I think I have a stronger connection to them. I can't exactly control them. They are free-willed creatures, but my affinity for them makes me quite a bit more persuasive.
I see. I was thinking we could maybe tame some big T Rexes to ride into battle.
Um, that's a thought. Yeah, let's table that for now. Um, he's like, I don't know that you can truly tame a T-Rex, but you know, maybe for if we can recruit them in some way to a cause that they find worthy, we'll see. Um, and um, so you know, some of the chiefs are like, well, I mean, does this mean he's the winner? And there's one sort of like elderly, like hobgoblin, you know, like red skin, pointy ears, taller, you know, but like his back is hunched. He's got like a, you know, longer beard and white hair, and um uh he's like the lore keeper here, and he says, well, the great hunt is still ongoing, and it's to remain open for 7 days. And if anyone else comes back successful, then they have equal claim. And then it would be trial by champion to determine who becomes the king among the goblins.
And that champion would have to be The person who might become king, or could he have, someone
No,
stand in?
it's about his ability to lead others. So if he can find a champion worthy to fight in his name.
Oscar, I know you're an excellent combatant.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd be willing to do that.
Well, we must wait until the 7-day period is up, and then your claim can be validated.
Actually, Buttersworth, I'm kind of better at blowing up lots of small people as opposed to fighting one big person. So maybe you should do it, Buttersworth. You're a duelist, with your sword and shield.
Well, could also be Fiark. My lord is an
Yeah,
excellent fighter.
turn into a polar bear and rip the guy a new one. Yeah, that would work.
Johnny Quick Hands is like, hey, so you can have that fire sack, and I'll send some of the shamans to come and try to see if they can, work on enchanting. If you know how your weapons work, maybe they can help enchant some of your weapons with fire, or create a new one or something.
Cool.
I think that'd be
Hmm.
pretty cool. He's like, I'm gonna take the head. Because that's for my people. It's going to be a source of strength. We're going to create blades from its teeth, um, armor from its bones and scales, and we're going to use it and create some worthy warriors will gain great power from these items.
Do you think they could make like a staff, like a fire staff? I use a lot of fire magic, so I don't know if that's compatible.
Thing is tiny.
Sounds like a good idea, actually.
I literally went changed the color.
He says, well,
Changing the color could have changed the
No.
I don't know. We'll see what they're able to make, but they're going to take it and start crafting with it right away. It might take a little bit, the process on this. So, and those people, those warriors, who will be selected, they will be creating their own weapons, because that is what creates a bond. You know, true significance in making your own weapons. Just like the knife I used to cut out the heart of the Regisar was a knife I made.
So guys, 1 second. Someone rang my doorbell. I'll be right back.
So you guys are kind of free at this point. He takes the head back. You guys are kind of free at this point to sort of explore the Goblin Town. There's places like, there's all kinds of like lodging and stuff. They have to accommodate sort of people who make migrations into this city. So they have sort of like inns, what would be sort of considered like inns. You can just stay on your ship. You definitely have supplies, and like you've stayed in your ship before. There are, like, they don't really have like metallurgy, like um you guys are used to. So like, it's not like they have a whole lot of like gear to purchase, but there's some activities going on. If there's anything you guys are interested in, otherwise we can sort of jump forward to the day when the first hunters get back.
In the repository where I was in the wastes, the ice wastes, the dwarven repository, there was a tale of something, a confection called chocolate, and I've never tried it. So I'd like to try and see if they have any.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Perception or investigation. You're kind of looking around for like a food district, and then seeing if
Okay.
anything there. Yeah. So you smell like there's a big marketplace, kind of a big open air bazaar, selling all kinds of things. There's like a whole section with like textiles and beads and like um, things to like craft baskets and furniture and things like that. And then with the 20, like you immediately smell where like all the food's cooking. And there's like a whole avenue in this city that's like all like stands and stalls where there's food.
Okay. I don't know what chocolate smells like, so I'll go to the closest one and I'll say,
Good sir, where's the chocolate?
Chocolate?
Yes, I've heard it's a brown substance. It can melt in the sun. I don't really know how to describe how it tastes. I believe it's made from cacao?
So you're saying it's brown and it melts in the sun.
Correct.
And
it's not poo. It's not poo.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, you're trying to eat something. You know, what do you think I am? He's like, it's brown, melts in the sun, and it's made from a plant. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
A
I'm not.
bean.
Oh, it's made
Cacao's a
from
bean.
Oh, it's a bean. I didn't know.
Oh, you want beans?
Well,
Well, he points you down to a stall, and you go down there, and there's like a pot. It's like very savory, and it's sort of like cooking, and you see this like brown, rich, like looking, uh, sort of almost like a stew, but it looks thicker. And he's like, "Hey, you want some? You want a bowl?"
Yes, I was told this is where the chocolate was, so I'd love a bowl.
He's like, "I'm not familiar with that term, but this right here is called feijoada."
Oh my gosh, dude.
I don't know what that
grabs
means.
a bowl of rice and he scoops it out and he pours it over. He's like, "And here, this is where the magic happens." And he takes this sort of yellow like powder, and he grabs like a scoop of it, and it's like he throws that on top, and he hands you the bowl with like a fork.
He says this powder is called farofa.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, how'd you know?
Buttersworth, I'm no like chocolate scientist, but I don't think that's chocolate.
I don't know. I just heard it was delicious, and I tasted. He's gonna take a bite. My God, this chocolate is amazing.
It is honestly one of the like most delicious things you've ever had. There's like a crunchiness to the yellow stuff he sprinkles on top. It's a mix of like beans and
Pork meat.
like meat and some like seasonings. It's like well seasoned over rice. And it's extremely satiating and really delicious. But
It's not what I was expecting from the descriptions, but I do believe this is my favorite food now. Chocolate truly is the best.
This Would Fjark know this isn't chocolate? I mean, I'm a herbalist. I would know cacao beans, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, Bjark, you would know what chocolate.
I would be like, I don't mean to ruin your parade, Buttersworth,
Try
but
some,
this
Fjark.
is
Try some.
definitely
Try some.
it's not chocolate though.
It's
Chocolate is
the
from
best chocolate you'll ever have.
This is not chocolate. This is a stew. But
I
I'm
don't
willing
know.
to give it a try. And I'll eat some. Um out of character, feijoada is incredibly delicious.
I have no idea what it is.
It's a
It's a
Brazilian dish.
real Brazilian
I
dish.
assumed, yeah.
With black beans and like
Yeah, it's
pork.
like black beans and
Can you spell for me?
Feijoida.
Yeah, it's like a
Feijoada, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Feijoada.
Oh my god, it looks
Yeah,
exactly
that's
like
right,
chocolate, dude.
feijoada.
It looks exactly like fucking chocolate.
Yeah, they put like pork sausage in it and black beans,
Oh god,
and
it
they'll
does look
put
good.
like other
But
bits of
just
pork.
describing chocolate, it was the first thing that came to mind. As I was like, oh, you could basically say that like that's feijoada. It's like
It's
kind of
really
yeah.
savory, really
Yeah.
yummy. And then they put farofa, which is that yellow powder that Nate was describing, which
Gotcha.
comes from the
It's made
it's
from
the
the yucca
mandioca
plant.
root.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like dried yucca.
Cool.
yeah. I guess in Portuguese it's mandioca, but yeah, they dry it and then they sprinkle it on there, and it's like dried and cooked in butter with like bacon.
Oh wow.
And sometimes they'll put even like shoestring potatoes in it.
Yeah,
It's really good, dude.
it's good as shit, dude. It's really yummy. But yeah, so it is delicious. But you know, Fjark, you're like, this isn't chocolate. It's really good, but this isn't chocolate. And if Fjark, you want to roll perception?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Actually at
you begin
26.
to kind of look around and sniff around the like food district. Um and you find a spot uh that's actually like, there's like food stalls and stuff, but like there are a few storefronts too, and this one is like a um like storefront that seems promising just based on like what you can see like from the signage outside. And they don't really have like glass windows or anything, but it's sort of built into um a tree that is um like strangely sort of like grafted to have like all kinds of different like nuts and fruits on it, including what you notice to be like cacao. Um, and when you go in, there's a bugbear
Keebler Elf.
person behind the counter, and he is large, very rotund, um, and he's like, oh, welcome to my shop. I am a purveyor of all kinds of fruits and butters and sweet delights. How can I help?
Would you, kind sir, have any chocolate from the cacao bean?
Um, he says, I'm unfamiliar with that term.
It is a creamy, sweet uh delicacy that comes from a bean, the butter of a bean.
Hmm.
It's brown in color and uh smooth in texture.
Okay. Why don't you try this? So he gives you like a little scoop. and it's sort of a brown, sweet spread. He says this comes from a thing we call hazelnuts. Is this what you were searching for?
I will try some.
Close. It's Nutella. It's basically
It's
the
Nutella,
same
yeah.
thing.
It's delicious. This chocolate is also amazing.
Yes, this is very close. Yes.
He says, oh, okay. So if you're saying this is close, he's like, yes, absolutely. And he pulls out like, um, he's like, but this isn't really sweet. And he pulls out like a bar of like a substance. It looks like dark, almost like purple, black. Like it's like a really sort of dark color. He's like, this isn't quite
Oh,
brown. It's more black and
yes.
wouldn't say that this is exactly sweet. Although it does
Okay.
have.
Fjark, growing up, because you said that you learned this Buttersworth from Dwarven?
Yeah, so the whole the connection between Buttersworth and dwarves is that like he lived in an icy tundra and all of his tribe was like super dumb, and he managed to find his way into a cave which had like dwarven ruins in it, and he learned how to talk in there. He learned like all of these different things, and the primary symbol that he saw was the clover symbol.
Okay.
Which might have just been a coincidence or whatever, but yeah. So he was like in there, and there were like crystals, like the ones that are around our neck, and they contained information. And this was just one of the, things that he learned.
Yeah. Yeah, being a brewer and kind of a tradesman, I think I would know a little bit about chocolate.
Yeah.
So I will tell.
Roll like a nature or like a, because I mean, yeah, you know enough about chocolate. I'd say your base level knowledge is to know what this is, which it is extremely dark chocolate.
Could I use like medicine? Because chocolate's been used for medicinal
Yeah.
purposes too.
Yeah.
Do that. Ooh, that was not great. Do you have the lucky stone though? So that's 14.
And guidance, because I'm there.
Yeah, 14. 14 is
yeah.
enough to identify it as like dark chocolate. And he says,
It's 15.
if you do want to eat this, I do have to warn you that it's a bit of an acquired taste. And I highly recommend taking one of these. And he grabs like a like large like uh almost like brick colored citrus fruit, and he hands it to you. And he says, I feel like this pairs very well with these two things pair very well together.
Okay.
So Fjark's gonna say, do you have any milk by chance?
Milk?
Yes, milk.
From
a cow?
Yes, well,
we're just making chocolate at this point.
We don't have cows here. We have dinosaurs.
Well, you can milk anything.
Dino milk. Warm dino milk.
Oh, God. Dinosaur. Let's get some reptile milk in this bitch.
Goat milk. Sheep's milk.
He says,
almond
yes.
milk.
Well, yes, I do have some nut milks if that's what you're looking for. That's how we make this chocolate. So, what you're calling chocolate, these bars. He uses a word for it that doesn't quite translate. But he pulls some of that out. And yeah, it's kind of like an almond milk.
If I can buy all of the ingredients that Fjark is suggesting, and I'll say, well, this will be a great project for the next time we're on the ship.
I'll also describe sugar cane to him.
He's like, yes, yeah, we have well, we refine, yeah, sugars from the juices of a plant. That sounds quite similar.
Yes, and some of this sugar, these sugars as well.
Okay. So he he gives you like some base stuff, and he takes your gold.
Yeah, how
And
much gold for this ingredient?
it's probably gonna be like 5 gold pieces.
I got it. 68.
All right, we're going to make dwarven chocolate. We call it brigadero. Just kidding.
So yeah, you guys get to try chocolate later.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny, Buttersworth, because like you probably could have gotten chocolate in the dwarven realm when you first showed up.
Yeah, I don't know why it popped into my head, but it did.
But yeah. But yeah, you guys, find a place to eat. You probably go back to your ship, take a break. It's the following day at the High Rollers roll into town. And it's kind of an overcast day. Uh, um, take a break, and one of you guys maybe roll a like nature. You could do survival.
I'll do a nature. Oh man.
So on a 14, like 23, Fjark, out of 23, it's very clear to you that like it feels like this overcast weather is like unnatural. The clouds have kind of are clinging close, like it wasn't supposed to be, like, like based on your knowledge of like weather and whatnot, weather patterns, and nature, the like it should have been like a warmer day and a clearer day. And then out of the cloud cover, it seems like people begin to panic and they see the Altasaur flying down into the city. But then it's quickly revealed that the Altasaur is actually strung up to the bottom of the High Roller's ship, which is in the shape of a dragon. So it looks like two sort of flying beasts flying like in tandem, one above the other. And they have the entire body of the Altasaur strung to the bottom of their ship. And they bring it in for a landing. And they're back in the center of town.
Of course. Oh,
I knew those guys could do it.
those guys always have a way of making a scene. I gotta give it to Dynasty Richfinger. He always has had a good showmanship quality about him.
So yeah, they get off, and it's Dynasty Richfinger, Guy Chad, Pierre Lepew, and Velen Thorne. And they they're with a less of a tribe than they had left with. They had a whole war band with them, and the leader of the war band was a like very stern looking hobgoblin warrior. I think I said they were from like the like Sky Cloud clan or something. I don't remember. Make up names and I don't write them down. And as you guys, are in the like entering the arena, Johnny Quick Hands is like, yeah, they did it. So that's 2 down. We'll have to see what happens with the Black Maw clan. They went after the Altasaur. So it's the Aerosaur and the Regisaur, the Altasaur. And Dynasty's like, Fjark, good to see you. I see you guys won the little race, huh? Do you know what happens when there's 2 successful parties? Not that I doubted you at all. We just no surprise here.
Yes, apparently the chieftain is decided by trial by combat. He appoints a champion to fight in his stead.
Ooh, yikes. Well, hey, did your guy did he like do a weird thing where he ate a heart and gained its
Oh,
powers?
yes, yes. It was
Huh.
quite strange. We were shocked. We thought we'd have
Seems
another intense battle on our hands.
Yeah, we did too. We almost killed him. Seems like there's more to these people than we thought, huh?
I guess that's part of being a spectral pioneer, huh? Learn new
He
things all
says,
the
indeed.
time.
Look, we do need to compare notes at some point. When we get this whole succession issue worked out. Um, I would love to hear how your progress on the Giants Codex has come. We have some information to report about the Dragons Codex, and I feel that uh, we should talk sometime when it's, our parties can convene.
Yes, yes, that would be smart. We're missing a couple of our party right now, but when they get back, I I don't see any harm in sharing notes.
Right. Um, I fear that, well, we fear that uh, the path laid out in the Dragon's Codex is uh, maybe a bit of a dead end.
The Giants Codex would not be a dead end, but would cause great sacrifice.
Interesting. Well, yeah, maybe we should discuss options because if we can be united in our cause, then that may be a place for us or for you to pivot one way or the other. Um, I know we have a bit of a rivalry here, but I hope there's no hard feelings.
um,
You can decide how to feel about it, however you want to feel about it.
yeah. I'll pretend not to have hard feelings because I know he's part of the reason I went out of business, but I will say, the only hard feelings are all the money I lost to you in poker.
He says, yes. Um, you know, it's just you have too many tells, and uh, like I love to play at the tables, and I feel like you make the decision to come play at the tables, and you choose to lose your money to me. So be it. He's like, but what is a few
Yes,
dollars
so be
among
it.
friends and fellow businessmen? Am I right?
Yes, yes. And Shark will be like, I don't really want to talk to this guy anymore, but let's let's be cordial at least, you know? That's what he's thinking as he's just like nodding his head. You know,
Yeah.
smile and
So
wave, boys, smile and wave.
so the lore keeper is like, well, we must choose champions, and well, it's still not been a week, and we must wait to see if the Blackmaw clan that went after the Altasaur is also successful, because that would be unprecedented. And the um, Johnny Quickhands, leans into you guys, and he's like, yeah, they definitely failed, but we're gonna have a visitor soon, and with that, you sort of hear some people screaming at the edge of town, and you see from the arena looming over the city is like an enormous like head attached to like the longest neck you've ever seen. Like you've seen other sauropods, but this is like they called it the Walking Mountain, and it's true. And then all of a sudden, that image of that beast disappears, um, and a bugbear wearing like ancient-looking bone armor enters the arena. Um, and the lore keeper is like, who are you? You aren't from the Blackmaw clan. And Johnny Quickhands is like, this is the current Altasaur. And the bugbear speaks. And he's like, the name is Bonesaw. I was a warrior of a clan whose name has been forgotten to history. 10,000 years ago, I have walked this land as the Altasaur, carving paths through the mountains, creating rich, fertile soil for you and the creatures in this land to bounty from. The others, my companions, my friends, lost their minds. But I sensed a change. I sensed new people, new champions. Show yourselves. And the hobgoblin with the high rollers transforms, as well as Johnny Quickhands. And the goblin people are aghast. And the lore keeper is like, how can this be? The great three yet live, though we have proof of their deaths. And Johnny explains it in a way that they can understand. You get the sense that the Altasaur is like still like a little bit not, like he's not completely crazy, but he also has like an archaic way of speaking. And so the tribal leaders all sort of are shocked by this information. And Johnny's like, look, it don't really matter who's the king of the goblins. That's not the important part. That's not why these rituals exist. I know that that's what's been passed down. And Lore Keeper, I'm not saying that you've done a bad job. It's just, you know, been 10,000 years since that knowledge started being passed down the generations. The truth is that this hunt, where we gather and do this hunt every 10 years, is more because, you know, when the people inhabiting these roles lose their sanity, they need to be put down. But the torch needs to be carried on. And he says, so we're here, and we are here to lead you. Says, but this threat against our people, it needs to be put down. And the Altasaur is like, the bugbear that can transform into the Altasaur is like, says, yes, we must join our powers and open up the way to the warren of our ancestors. We will freeze this continent and make it impossible for them to inhabit, these flat-toothed hippo people. Our people will adapt as they always have. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I'll just kind of aside to Fiorik, what do you think he meant when he said freeze the continent?
Oh, I'm at a loss myself. I mean, literally freeze it?
I don't
I thought he
know.
said free the continent from the.
Oh, did he say free or freeze?
He said freeze.
He said freeze?
Yes.
Ooh, that's not good.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Ice Age?
Huh.
Yeah, so Johnny Quickhands is like, he's like, look, you guys, I will be forever grateful. We will be fixing up your ship with a big flamethrower type apparatus. So, you know, that'll be nice for you. And I know I said that we would appreciate your help against these hippo people, but this place is going to get real cold real fast as soon as we complete our ritual.
Okay.
You see, our people's magic, it comes from the land here. And we are going to change it. Well, how does your magic work? I guess that's my question.
All three of our magics work a little differently. Who are you most curious about?
Well, when I understand that they all kind of work differently, but it seems like you're all kind of drawing from the same source.
Mine comes from my faith in this man here. Yeah.
Right, and I understand that we have our own uh champions, our own you know, holy knights, if you want to call them that, or faithful knights, or whatever, paladins. We have shamans that can be in tune with nature, and we have shamans that study through oral tradition and learn magic the hard way, as they say. He's like, but the source of all that magic for us is our land at the end of the day. They draw from the primal forces here. And you see him sort of like draw magic. He's like, I've learned some things from my past lives, or my past, or not my lives, but and you see him sort of like draw on magic, you know, to like prepare like a fireball. And Oz, can you roll an Arcana check?
Yes. All right. Where's my Arcana? There it is. Oh my gosh. Still 15.
So you notice like what he's trying to say to you is that like all of you guys use the Thaumic Relay Network to get to like access your magic. Everything is filtered through that. So even though like, you know, the source of your magical powers, your magic knowledge comes from like different things, your attunement with nature, or your devotion to your oaths, or, you know, for you Oz, you know, like you're basically book learning. Um like the source of that power, the sort of weave of magic, is coming from the Thaumic relays, that sort of like uh network of power and energy that passes through this crystal relay. He is drawing power from a different place. He's drawing power from like the land itself, but also from like some sort of like realm of shared belief that the goblin people have access to. And you know, like when you hone in, like your magical senses hone into that power, like the like it almost like invokes like smells and sights that are like evokes smells and sights that are different. um so like whenever magic is drawn, like, you know, you could, it sort of has this like crystalline energy, um sort of like uh you know, it evokes like, you know, the like just the image of those glowing crystals. um when he's drawing from power, you see the image of this place of, you know, like mossy trees and loamy earth and, you know, uh dense foliage and vines and, you know, volcanoes and snow-capped peaks, and this sort of land that is like rich with life and savagery and, uh, you know, from the dinosaurs, and you know, it's something like more pure, um, but also unfiltered.
Hmm.
So you're saying this magic is essentially going above the constraints of the
Like they're working around. I always think of it as the Matrix. I don't think that's quite accurate,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
He's like, look, if you think about like, if magic is coming from somewhere else, right? The way we access it is by sort of creating a tunnel in reality and accessing it and summoning it to us, to this reality, this real plane. Your magic is coming from one place, mine is coming from another.
would it help us to learn from them, or I guess are our workarounds as good as they can be, if that makes sense?
Yeah, roll another Arcana check.
Sorry, I'm actually away from my computer. Would someone mind rolling
Yeah,
that?
I can do that for you.
Thank you. For putting my daughter to bed.
Oh yeah, you're good, dude. Your Arcana is ridiculous, dude. You rolled a 20, 7 plus 13.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so like the implication of this is actually like kind of crazy to you because like, the assumption has always been like the only way to access magic is through the Thaumic Relay Network. The idea that there would be like some entirely alternative path that's outside the realm, like the range, like it's sort of something that you've been scratching on the surface of, like, maybe like the Giants Codex is leading you to this, like maybe like the references, like you're making a connection that's like the references to the King's Way, like opening the King's Way and, like doing trials and getting access, like is maybe a reference to like creating a new sort of tunnel, a new like tunnel to the source of magic, right? So like, um, uh, so for the goblins, like they call it a warren. It's like the source of their magic. And this implies that there may be other places that you can tap into magic. And it's just sort of a matter of like tuning to a different frequency. If that makes sense. Hello?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And so then Johnny's like, so, you know, you like, I now have seen what the Gith have done to this land in a very short amount of time. And they're seeking resources in the earth that we cannot allow them to get. So, the three of us have been talking. We have a connection and are actually able to communicate. So the last couple days, actually, we've been talking uh, since we all transformed, and Altasaur over there has reached out almost as soon as I transformed, actually. And we know what needs to be done. It's going to be difficult, but our decision is made. Because you're my friends and because you've done so much, I will tell you what it is, but I'm going to ask that you don't do anything to stop us, because this is, in our opinion, the only way. But we're going to fundamentally change the nature of our war and the access to our magic, because it's so fundamentally tied to our people and our land. It will change it from a place of life and abundance to a place of frigid cold. That will reflect almost immediately, because we will open up that pathway as soon as we change its nature, we'll open it from here, and it will cause. What did you say, Fjark? You said ice age. That's what it's gonna do.
This connection, is it similar to the plague connection that we had shut down in the one place?
Not exactly, no, but it's like its effects will be similar in that like they will basically be like opening, like using their own powers, the three of them, to like fully open like the aperture of this warren of magic, and that will have effects on the land.
What is this going to do to your people? And it might
Well,
stave off the Gith, but what about your people?
our people will adapt. They're survivors, and we will share our knowledge with them before this happens. We will have a month, spend a month preparing. And we'll make it happen.
And you've decided this is better than total war against the Gith to try to rid them?
Total war would annihilate our people in more ways than one. Not just the death that they would reap upon our people should we go into war against them, but the cultural contamination that they bring to our people would change them, corrupt them. Have to drive them off.
Oh, yeah, you have to do what's best for the planet and the people, the realm. Does
Yes.
anyone else have any thoughts on this decision?
I don't.
Sorry.
It's not really our choice, is it?
Yeah, I mean it's not.
I have a policy of non-interference. I say we let them do what they're gonna do.
I don't know. I mean, isn't it going to kill a lot of your people?
There's some, it will be harsh, and food will be hard to come by, and the land will adapt, our people will adapt, and it helps that there's a man among us who's been living for 10,000 years preparing for this contingency. He has actually been preparing stores of supplies in locations throughout the land, preserving food and furs. It's because he was so singularly focused to this task that he has survived to this day with most of his mind intact.
Well, do your people need? Hey, don't we have a deadline that we're trying to keep anyways, too? It's not like we can stay and help them.
Yeah, if
Oh, do we have a thing we have to
so
do?
like they're
Aren't we
I
helping
think
them and then we're gonna leave?
yeah, so on your way you received like a transmission from Nicolates that said that like the Myrmex are contained, but they're adapting kind of too fast. They are like he's leading like the Rough Riders are leading like a resistance against them. But he's figured out how to stop them, which requires somebody going to the Myrmec's homeworld and killing their queen,
Right.
which would basically shut down their hive mind.
Yeah, it's like he did have some stuff. There was urgent things that he had requested that we couldn't just dilly dally. And then there's the one lady who ran away from us that I think we figured out how to pinpoint her too, right?
Yeah, she went to another planet. But yeah, I think you might have figured out how to get to one of those lands.
Then, did we have a lead on the moon? I cannot remember.
Yeah, you guys got the coordinates to the moon, and you figured out that like the Gith sort of live on the moon, but it's like it's on like a sort of like the ethereal plane, basically.
Yeah.
We can't
So
just go there.
if you try to go there, it's like a barren rock with no air. So you have to figure out a way to like, you know, like live, like you have to figure out a way to like survive the vacuum of actual space. Or you can find a way to shift into like the plane that they live in and attack them in the heart of their power, which, would not be advised.
Huh.
Think about that spells.
But you have the coordinates. You also have to figure out a way, because you can't get there. Like you have to actually like fly there. When it's actually close to one of the realms. So, yeah, but those are the other sort of pressing things. I know that I think Nicoletez like gave you guys like a month or something, a month or two, something like that. I didn't want it to be like too much of a ticking clock for that.
We also have to get Bear at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not certain where we should go. What we should do?
I mean, yeah, it seems like our time here is done, and we maybe need to prepare for the Myrmec's queen. Don't want to spend a month here while they prepare.
Yeah, so Johnny Quick Hands is like he's like, look, this isn't the last you've seen of us. It will this place will be different next you return, but we'll hopefully by that point have driven off these invaders, frozen the ground too hard for them to dig, and saved our people.
All right. Well, I suppose we're leaving then.
Yeah.
Not entirely certain where we're going.
Seems
He's
like
well,
we're
I
going.
mean, you could stay for as long as you need. It's just, in a month this place will be Frozen tundra.
I think we're off to the hive, unless you guys have a better idea. I need to figure out how to make us not die on the moon. So that might take a second.
Sounds good to
Um,
me.
So, Guy Chad comes up to you guys with the rest of the high rollers. And he's like, hey, so Dynasty said that he talked to you, said we need to chat. We just got briefed by you know, our friend over there, and seems like we're not needed here. So maybe we should talk. I don't remember what voice you did as for Guy Chad, dude.
I don't remember
I think he was
either,
just kind of
dude.
a bro.
Yeah.
So I'll just go. We got a transmission from Nick Latez.
Oh.
We were thinking about going there.
Mermex Queen?
Yeah.
We got the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured we could team up.
Insight check. I want to get this. He's talking to my lord, being like, "Hey, we could be buddies." Oh shit, my insight is awful. He seems pretty trustworthy, my lord.
Yeah, you know that, Buttersworth. You know that because he's extraordinarily good looking, and people who look that good can't be liars. Fjark, you get the sense
23.
that he's offering to team up, but like he'd kind of rather not. He doesn't like he doesn't. There doesn't seem to be any malice here. It's just like a like you know sort of understanding that you know like there's already too many big personalities to deal with.
Yeah.
But he's like look, the other thing that like we should talk about is we translated the Draconic Codex, and those dragons were crazy motherfuckers. Did you know that they turned their realm into a portal to an infernal realm?
But what?
So to get out of their realm, they just turned it into an infernal realm.
Yes, well, I mean, I don't think they knew that. You see, their queen, Tiamat, was batshit crazy, and she, in trying to break free from the bonds of the illithid, uh, began communing with a being on the other side. Uh, she thought it was an angel, and she began this great construction of a magical device, um, and an artificial sun that would be a new source of power for their people. That sun was actually just a portal to the nine hells, which I don't even, I mean, I don't know.
Wait,
So
is this
their message,
portal still like up? Like what's up, dude? Like what's going on, man? Are we in trouble?
well, I mean, if you go to the Draconic realm, you may fight devils. That's all I'll say. Uh, not a very
Okay.
not a very pleasant place to go. And basically, the instructions in the Draconic Codex are to replicate that, and they did get free. Their queen Tiamat is trapped there, and you know the Silver Knight. He was actually a champion of Bahamut. Did you know that Bahamut is not actually evil?
I
See, we had it all wrong. Everybody thinks that Tiamat was the good one, and Bahamut's evil, and it's actually different. He tried to prevent this whole thing from happening, and his spirit. Um, Anyways, the Silver Knight was. I mean, he was a threat because he'd gone mad, but um, he was actually a champion of Bahamut,
huh.
the Platinum Knight, I think was his name.
I think we knew
Wait.
he was a champion of Bahamut, but we thought the cult of Bahamut was all evil.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, yes. Well, they've gone to ground. We haven't figured out what's going on with them, and we may pursue that if we find any leads. We are sort of keeping an eye open for leads to that because, um, you know, uh, it felt like Bahamut was trying to prepare some alternative method, but he uh, um, I don't know. It feels like we're missing something.
So Bahamut was the good guy, Tiamat was the bad guy, and just so I'm getting that straight for now, and then
Yes,
so
Tiamat found herself in the Nine Hells, and it has enslaved most of her people. There have been a few dragons that escaped uh, that um, that fate. Well, I heard you guys slayed one of them actually. Good job.
Oh, yes, the goo.
Yes, Mr. Magoo. Um,
It's goo. Not Magoo.
Mr.
It's just goo,
Magoo.
right? Wasn't his name
oh,
just goo?
yes, I don't
Asking
know.
above table name. It wasn't it goo?
Yeah, his name was Goo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
goo.
think
Um,
he
Nate's
was
just
just
fucking
making a
around.
funny joke.
Oh, okay. I was not catching on.
Mr.
Yeah.
Magoo's Wonder
Mr.
Emporium or whatever it is.
Magoo.
yeah, a blind old man who could barely see and stumbled his way into you guys who just beat him down. Strange, but
Well,
no. So anyways, there are some dragons here and there. Just keep an eye out. But we've been seeking for clues about the cult of Bahamut, and um, it's that well has dried up. So we were thinking about going to help Nick Latez because maybe if we can stop the Myrmex and open up the human realm, then you know, um, I don't know. We just feel like we're missing something. So, what have you learned from the Giants Codex? Dynasty said that um, you said it would kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I don't want to make this decision without Rugen
Yeah.
here. What I share and don't share.
Okay. I mean, we can stop here, and the Goblin people have sort of gotten the memo. They are celebrating sort of the return of uh, these sort of ancient champions, um, and some have decided that they don't quite believe this, but most of them, and so some have started to just leave because they were expecting to crown a king um, that could lead them in battle. Uh, and, so there's a few tribes here and there that have chosen to just begin to leave for their homes. but most of them are here celebrating, sending the word out. But there is cause to celebrate, and so the town, in the time you guys have been talking, has already begun to seem like very festive, and they will sort of be feasting and celebrating for a few days. So and you guys are invited to join because you've been helpful here. But you could pick up that conversation,
Yeah, I
over
just don't want to leave
dinosaur food. Yeah.
Lou out of that because I do feel like this is a good Lou conversation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And also, like, the only time I actually encountered the high rollers, because I didn't play them when we actually did that, I was
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
Was when we encountered them, like, ski jumping.
Yeah.
Silver Knight. They stole the Silver Knight from us, from under our nose.
Yep.
Threw us off a
Yeah.
ship. So,
Yeah, they did do that. Yep.
I don't know how much I want to share. Also, man, I like forget a lot of details. Giants Codex. I do remember that it was going to cause like where only select people would be saved and the rest would all essentially die, right? Or be left behind. No, it would like destroy the realm, wouldn't it?
No, so it would create a massive tree at the center of the realm that would sort of drill a hole through the bottom of it, connecting it to other planes of existence, higher planes of existence, that would allow people to travel its branches, or its roots going down, but then going up, uh, to walk those paths into new worlds.
But I thought it meant that only a couple people could get saved, though, like select. Right.
Anybody
we
who's
discuss?
currently inhabiting that realm, because that realm would be cut off from the system, all the thaumic relays would be destroyed, and it would itself be a source of magic for people.
Yeah, so it's like you could save like one realm, right?
Yeah, it would allow you to save one realm.
That's it. Yeah. The rest of
And
the
then
realms would be cut off from it.
yeah, well, and it would also like potentially destabilize the existing system enough, because like there have already been like 2 realms that have been cut off, and then the Orcish realm was sort of like halfway cut off, um, losing 3 of its 4 thaumic relays. So like the system is already kind of like hanging by a thread. So it would basically like potentially cause a chain reaction through the thaumic relay network and destroy it, which who knows what would happen to the realms if that happened.
Yeah, I mean, could free them all, could kill them, could be bad news bears.
Yeah.
Could leave every other realm without any magic whatsoever.
Yeah. Also, probably kill all of allies people
Yeah.
entirely. So not a great choice. More of a nuclear button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. And I did remember some of that correctly. That's not all of it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to the rest of the high road. Excuse me, with Lou here.
Okay.
Word.
Well, it's 10 o'clock, so we can count that as a good stopping point. A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
Buttersworth and I are gonna make chocolate on the ship.
We totally are.
Using my brewing tools.
Oh yeah, no,
Dude,
yeah, definitely have time to
I
do that.
realized like 12 seconds into asking for chocolate, I was like, oh no, I have no idea where this is going to go. I just want chocolate.
You know what? It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at coming up with names on the fly, but it was
great.
fun to deal with that, and I really enjoyed it. So
Cool.
I don't
That
know
was
why I thought of
hilarious.
that. I haven't had that in
Dude,
forever.
feijoada is so good. If you ever go to a Brazilian restaurant and can get feijoada, do it.
I will.
Like
Yep.
there in Norwalk, there's a Brazilian restaurant. Dude, it was so good. It slapped.
I'll have
And
to.
they had like they call them pratos feitos, which means like pre-done plates, but you could order like a feijoada. But I always got
Kevin, did you go to Brazil?
No, I was in Alaska.
Alaska. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I went to Florida.
Oh, that's where my
hey,
wife's
basically
family's from.
Brazil.
Almost.
Florida and Alabama. So it was okay. Yeah, Quinn, you were in Brazil.
Yeah, but our family lived in Brazil too, so you know he
Yeah,
went to
I know.
Brazil too.
I lived there for almost a year. But no, Chris, even if you go to like a Fogo de Chao type of place, like a Brazilian churrascaria, like one of those chain ones, they usually have feijoada on the like all you can
The
eat
bar.
salad bar section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not usually that good
There's a place
for
near
as
me
far as
called
feijoada goes.
called Brazil Grill near me. I'll go there. Feijoada. Yeah, it looks so good, dude.
Dude, farofa
It's
is really good
dude.
too. It has like a sand texture to it, so it kind of at first can be like a little off-putting, but it's very like the flavor of it is really good. With
Yeah.
time, it like really grows on you.
Cool.
But having that on top of your feijoada is like so good. It's like a crunchy, I don't know.
Soaks up all the juices, the bean
Yeah.
juice. Really good.
Yeah. Damn. I gotta go get some.
Yeah.
I don't know
Brazil's
where.
got the best food. I will die on that hill that Brazil has some of the best food in the world.
Yeah, they're pretty good. It also, like where we lived in Brazil in São Paulo, has like more Japanese people than anywhere outside of Tokyo, Japan. Not
Huh.
Japan, the city of Tokyo, like um so the city of São Paulo is like the second most like has like the second most amount of Japanese people in that city then anyways.
Yeah.
So there are a ton of like Japanese and sushi restaurants in São Paulo.
And
And they do
pizza.
it. Oh yeah. And
Because
they
there's a
do
ton of
it.
Italians in Sao Paulo
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really good like Neapolitan pizzeria type places. There's a lot of really good sushi places, and a lot of the sushi places do it like they do Brazilian barbecue. So like you go in and you put up the flag, and they just keep bringing you sushi.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like I went for lunch with some coworkers once to a sushi place, and they brought out a boat of sushi, and I was just like, I'll take everything on here. Like one of those wooden boats, and I was just like, I'll just leave the boat, just leave it, I'll eat it. I feel like I ate like 20 pounds of sushi, like it was so crazy. It was disgusting. I probably had like 50 like pieces,
Nigiri.
individual pieces of sushi.
Nigiri
Yeah,
pieces.
like
Yeah.
pieces of maki rolls of
Oh.
yeah, it was just too much, dude.
And
I don't
dude,
know,
the
there's
food
all
in
you can eat
Brazil
sushi
is like
places around here too, but
it's like not processed like it is in the US.
Yeah.
So it's just
yeah.
like way better for you. It's like everything is so fresh and it's like yeah, so good.
Anyways, all right, guys.
All
This
right.
has been fun.
GG's.
Hey,
Enjoy your weekends, and see you next week.
See you next
Nate,
week.
could I borrow you for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Peace.
Um,